Welcome back to Europa Universalis 5, my new favorite game. Let's go. I will be playing as close as it gets to my hometown. We will be playing as the county of Loon. This is where all the lunatics come from.
I don't belong here, Bender. This is an asylum for insane robots.
Well, you meet half the qualifications.
Yeah, so we'll be playing as one of the lowland miners, and we shall attempt to ascend to greatness. And by greatness, I mean we're going to try and either form Belgium, if that's even in the game. If not, I'll have to settle on Netherlands and see if we can get this country to not only just be great, but can it be the greatest of the great powers in the world.
You're in Holland, specifically The Hague.
Did you say A Hague?
I said The Hague.
Let's go. Now, I will not be playing on Iron Man. This is still not the release version. It's not quite as stable as you want it to be for recording. Let's go. Now, I'll keep things simple. We're not making a lot of money. We are poor folk here. So we're just gonna mint out the ass, tax everyone for as much as they can. Yes, and Belgium was way ahead of that. And just spend some on stability, cost of court, that sort of stuff. And just sit here saving up money until we can expand our livestock pens or our sturdy grain. The only advantage we have is that we are currently the counts of 4 countries, not just the one. So depending on... let's see, there we go. So these are all under our personal union for now. Now, it's a very weak personal union. None of the union policies have been set, so this could shatter at any time if this guy dies. For now, it's still, it's still here. Seniority in the union is decided by great power score, and this early in the game, a lot of that is going to come from prestige and legitimacy. So that could go up or down real quick. If we become a minor in this union, I am dipping. If we can stick around as the senior partner in all this, we can make some plays here. Speaking of plays, I'm going to try to grow. Now, growing within the HRE is slightly more complex than if I were to play outside of it. Definitely not as aggressive as Byzantium, but I can still do something. Now, if I were to go on a conquering spree in the HRE, antagonism, so aggressive expansion, is going to eat my ass raw. It's not going to work out for me. However, due to the quirky nature of things, I can go around vassalizing people for a much lower cost. I mean, the only downside is that war is a little bit more difficult to come by. Realistically, the only place for me to get war goals is through Parliament. So every 5 years I get 1 war goal, and I gotta make the most of it. As for research, not all that much to do here. Might as well just grab the basics. And we're going to do our best. As far as cabinet's concerned, they have 2 jobs. Develop the province and make sure I have control of the province. That's basically it. Possible reforms. Autocracy is nice, and I can switch it out later if I get something better. And the other one I quite like is diplomatic traditions, because of the playstyle I will be using has a very great need for diplomatic capacity, both for alliances, but mostly for puppets. I'm going to be having a lot of puppets. They eat up quite a bit of diplomatic capacity, so the more capacity to have, the better. And you can jack that number up as well by yeeting money into diplomatic spending. Don't need that yet, so I'll yeet money right back out of it. That's basically all of it. We're going to get going, and I'm thinking we go to war with Horn as soon as possible and see who they ally. If they ally somebody weak, I can also take. I can take the entire alliance, vassalize each and every one of them individually. If they find a strong ally like Brabant, I'm fucked and I'll have to look elsewhere. All right, I'm going to need to apologize for all of the previous recordings. I'm going to have to re-record parts of this and then pick it up here. I forgot to set the correct resolution on my screen. This is the situation in 1345 of the actual playthrough. The parts before this you see are basically an introduction and a re-recording, because I was an idiot and still had my monitor set to ultra-wide, meaning half the information got cut off the screen. That's not very enjoyable to watch for you guys, so let's take it from here, shall we? God, early game forts are so annoying to deal with. 150 days, but at least we've gotten it up to a positive percentage. Yeah, this can easily take like a year or 2 to siege down before you get artillery. Don't even think about storming it. You're not storming this fort. I don't even want to press the button. It's going to just make my troops disappear. Damn! I'm getting real lucky rolls today. All right, quickly siege Gelre, end this war as a true champion. No thank you, Brabant. No alliance. You're on my shit list. Oh, I just noticed Holland took half of this off you. I'll have to intervene in future. All right, occupation of Gelre is complete. With that, Zutphen, what do I want from Zutphen? Actually, what do I want from Gelders? What I want from Gelders is turn them into a vassal. Ooh, that already pisses a lot of people off. Now, I can smooth things over by improving relations after this and just sitting tight for 5 years. Not the worst, but it is going to mean I won't be able to get Zutphen. What if I talk to Zutphen? If I get both of them to be vassals? That is going to piss a lot of people off. Right, now ideally, of course, we would puppet both of them. It's just not in the cards. It's not possible. Now, what I could do is talk to Gelders and get them to just sign over some land to one of our puppets. Like Weert could use Venlo and Roermond, and then just puppet Zutphen and see if that actually changes anything. So I'll transfer control of the Limburg province over to the county of Hoorn and talk to Gelders, get them to sign over Limburg to my beloved puppet. It's going to piss people off, but so be it. It's not going to piss them off enough that they'll join or create any factions, I think. Well, coalitions. All right, that's one out. Huzzah. And for Zutphen itself, we are simply going to turn them into a vassal and take their money. That also pisses people off, but not nearly as much as it would if I just vassalized both of them, and I wouldn't have the diplo capacity anyway to maintain both vassals. One vassal and then make one of my vassals a little stronger. This is acceptable. So we're still over our relations cap, but I could just spend some more. I mean, we're off to a good start. I'm going to be integrating this guy as soon as we can, and that will give us control of the province. Nice. And if we can get the union to resume as well, we can get Maastricht on the cheap, and we'll have the entire province of Limburg under our control. Huzzah! Yeah, so that plan's fallen through. Unless Hainaut is willing to come in and bail me out. Let's get my war goal. No, actually, let's insult them first. Very important. You don't want to fight people who have good relations with. No, always send them an insult first so they know what's coming. All right, we're gonna declare war, and it's gonna be shit. None of these guys have forts except, and here's the problem, the annoying thing, Gelders built a fort here. So we're gonna have to besiege them. I can't really quickly overrun them anymore. So we're gonna, if I fuck this up, this is gonna be a really short video. So let's declare that war. You, for the love of God, come in and help me. I need your help in this. But there's not actually anyone in that fort. Oh, I think I fucked up. We'll just avoid battle as much as we can. Avoid battle. Make sure our puppets follow us around as much as possible. Don't try to do anything independently. Please, please don't do anything on your own. You're all too stupid to do anything on your own. Just run to me. I represent the only chance we have. Please? Guess not. Oh well. And early when Lambour is occupied, their army is dead. Uh-oh. You're just picking off my army. Realistically, I can get them to peace out already. So let's just start piecing them out one by one. Humiliations, money, war reparations. Oh, I forgot about Utrecht. Let's go and deal with that then. I completely forgot about that. All right, sweet. They've transferred occupation to me, so we'll finish up Utrecht. Utrecht, separate for peace. Again, we'll just beat some money out of you. Now these guys, I give part of them to Zutphen, part of them to my other puppet to make sure that I get control of the territory in future, and then we deal with Kleef. You, I'll give that to Guy, and Nijmegen I can give to Zutphen. Oh, Zutphen's not in the war. Why are you not in the war? In that case, if I can't give it to him, I can take it for myself and then hand it off, I guess. And then I'll just sell you the land. Stupid puppets. They'll pay me 3 gold for it. Huzzah! They're even more uppity now. God, they're like 3. Why is it so high? The relative... Oh, I know why it is. He's our puppet. And in the capacity of a vassal, he's not that tough. Unfortunately, it is counting his union partners. He is in a union with Cleves and with Gelders, and the game is taking their combined strength and using that to count how strong he is relative to us. Fuck. What if I puppet both of these guys now? So I will take Lambour, I will take Cleve, humiliate Cleve. Gelders would be very mad. They would be big mad, but I can deal with just one country being big mad, and they'll be all cut down to size, I think. I think we come out of this pretty well. It's just going to be horrific with the too many relations penalty. I might have to get rid of Hainaut as an ally. Fuck it. Fuck it. 113% over. Utrecht and Gelders are big mad. All right, let's start improving opinion here. And improving opinion there. Yeah, oh, this is bad. Suddenly these guys are disloyal and they don't want to be annexed anymore. Everyone's disloyal. If I promote loyalists, though, you'll still be with me. All right, you're ride or die. So I will support loyalists. Yeah, these guys are now once again ride or die. And Zutphen, I can make loyal as well. Once we annex this guy, things will already be a lot better. Once we're out of our regency, things are going to get even more better. Cleves can go screw themselves. Everyone else is reasonably loyal now. And a lot of money. I can immediately spend it on increasing the amount of livestock and sturdy grain in my country. Oh, there we go. A new Count of Loon. 13-year regency when Dad went insane. Let us assume the throne. Does that change any of the strength calculations? It might need a monthly take, but it's already so much better than it was before. The subjects are now all once again loyal. I think I can start supporting, stop supporting the loyalists. And as soon as we finish the integration of the first one of these guys, we should be okay. This guy's almost integrated. That should give us the strength we need. And we can now also work towards integrating our union a little more closely. Our way personal unions work is a little different. Well, a lot different from the game we all know and love, EU4. We basically need to set policy. As we maintain the union for longer, we get to make some changes. First of all, we're going to see who is senior. Either we can maintain federal status with each of us being independent, or we do an actual ranking. We get a vote for seniority. Now, with more members in union, it gets a little bit more complex, but the long and short of it is you have to work your way through these laws, and you always want to pick the ones that push you closer towards unification if you are the senior partner. Each one of those laws you implement will increase the integration level. As you get to the end, you will have an option, I believe, to diplomatically annex them. It's a very long, drawn-out process. Well, we can do another parliament. I'm not going to war now because, you know, the situation's still not resolved. But I do have a balanced budget option, and this is really good. Now, if we pass, great, lose 2.5% inflation. But while it's being debated, I lose a ton of inflation as well, which means during the debate, even if we don't make it, I can mint like it's going out of style. Watch my income go up, up, up. You know what? I'll build you a new monastery if you want, and I'll tear it down. And then we'll use this to get some laws changed. Distribution of power. I want to change this first. I want it to favor the ruler above all else. And I believe we still are the senior partner in our union, so we will grow no matter what. All right, we have integrated our first puppet. Other puppets are going to dislike us for a little bit. They are immediately cores because they're the right culture, and these are actually pretty valuable lands. Wool, pretty great, sturdy grains. I don't want your monastery, so I'll tear that down. Looking at the power calculation, it is way down. It's only 37% over the limit instead of 114. Yeah, after the month caught up, game recalculated, and we are in fact no longer over our diplomatic capacity limit. So our vassals are all in line. We are the top dog. Thank God for that, because I was scared when I saw that 140% at the beginning of all this, but I'd say we're looning it up. It's a big old loon world out there. Now, I think for our beloved new Count's lifetime, we're going to focus on getting this union integrated. So we're going into diplomacy, organization, and the Loonian Union. Now we're going to slowly bind them closer and closer to us by enacting policies that focus on unifying. Unified succession law here. And if you go down here, we're also going to have a unified economy, unified external diplomacy, unified legislation, and then the question of unification itself. But we'll have to It's a tiered process. We'll slowly have to work our way through it. Right now, they all have their own sovereign succession laws. I don't want that. There will be one singular, unified law of succession for this nation and all other nations under this crown on this guy's head. Let's start the unification. And Hainaut wants my help to fight Liège. You know, I do want to fight Liège. You know what? If I fight Liège, I might actually be able to take the land. I'm gonna see if I can quickly siege in and then get on the fort first. Do I get occupation? I would get occupation. Oh no, they're gonna race me to the fort. Alright, I got occupation there. And the bastards got occupation of Liège itself. Oh, they left the tile! I am now in charge of this siege, bitches! So they peaced out before the siege of Liège itself finished, and great! Valcourt and Dinan have been given to me. I have no use for this territory. You know, I can create a subject out of it. I'll create a custom subject of Namur. Yeah, Antoine de Bray, one of you guys can lead it. There we go. Custom subject. Land you don't border. In this case, exclaves, you can't get control on there, so there's no point in holding onto it yourself. I'm gonna have to fight Brabant eventually, and they're getting tougher. Now, my plan is to start currying favors with them. If I can get enough favors with them, I will have the option to isolate them from their allies. If I can get 20 favors, I can isolate them from their allies and hopefully fight them either alone or without Lorraine or Cologne. Lorraine is, I think, not a big issue. It's Cologne that's the tough one. Another parliament, another war. I'm thinking Utrecht. They're nice and big on the map. Get them puppeted. We are already relatively large. I've annexed 2 of my vassals, so Loon is looning on the map. We're doing well, but we could be doing better. What is it with my rulers and babies? This one's apparently found one, and I could adopt him as my own. You know, why not? I have to. I now have an heir. Gotta be honest with these wars, I keep getting greedy and I'm pushing my diplomatic capacity to the limit, but I got Utrecht and I even got a little Baden down in, down here. Not bad. I got a little bit of a slice up there next to Holland, Jever, whatever that place is called, so not bad, not bad. I'm getting there so I can integrate 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, we need to sort out some laws and some values, but we're just going to push things traditionalist, we're going to push things centralized, innovative, humanist, plutocracy, free subjects, quality, offensive, land, actually maybe naval. Let's take a look if we can form a new country. What's going to take? The Netherlands. Okay, I need to own 21 more locations. A schism in the Catholic Church. This is like a power struggle between the Pope and the King of France. My loyalty lies with whomever is willing to pay me a fuck ton of money. Kinda next to France, the Pope is really far away, so I will be siding with the French here. Alright, cool. Professional armies made it all the way over here, so that is something we're gonna dip into next. Once we can get like a standing army, even if it's a small one, once we can get something akin to a standing army using armories, we're probably in the clear as far as our immediate neighbors are concerned. Maybe not for Brabant, not Holland, definitely not France, but at least the small guys we can reliably bully without having to rely on levies. This war with Liège has gotten a little bit out of hand. I thought, let's do a quick humiliation war. Apparently they have Munster and Cologne as allies. Cologne and Munster are both pretty big. Unlucky. My allies being attacked by France. Now, I don't want to fight France, and they're calling upon my assistance. Fortunately, I have a very interesting offer by my nobles. Support in parliament if you break your alliance with Hainaut. You know what? I'm sorry, Hainaut, but no. Relatively quick in and out. It'll take, I guess, not their money, a little bit of their money. And we're just annexing Liège to the county of Limbourg, make my vassal a little bit tougher. I can integrate him afterwards. And bada bing, bada boom, disband the levies. Good shot. I did lose my ally, unfortunately, but, you know, I'm not about to fight the French. I'm not ready for that. Nobody's ready for that. That's not happening. Why are you not my puppet? You're a vassal of Cleves? Alright, I guess we're gonna be annexing Cleves next. You know, with the expansion dragging on a little bit, I'll make my own damn towns if I can't steal anyone else's. My capital will be a town and later on a magnificent city. We'll click on this icon and upgrade from a rural settlement to a town for the low price of 275 point something ducats. We'll actually have a capital worthy of the name. Look at that. Hasselt is a town now. And we actually built some stuff here. I'm going to focus on building up my burgers, make it more productive. We'll build stuff like libraries, mostly marketplaces so we can get trade going. Now to make sure that can happen, I'll have to give them some rights. I'll allow them to build roads. It allows me to centralize. I'll just give them some, small tokens of my appreciation that also benefit me. And if I benefit, everybody benefits, right? Aha! My suspicions were correct, though. So I annexed Cleve as my vassal, and since Lambourg was a vassal of Cleve, they are now a vassal of mine! Haha! Suck on that, Duke Hendrik! I have enough people in my country now, over 100,000, that I can go to Bohemia. I think they're still the emperor? Yeah, they're still the emperor. See if I can get them to call me a duke. I need 25 prestige. I gotta remember that. If I get the prestige and a couple more pops, maybe I can get called or named a duke by the emperor. All right, at least I can do that because you're supposedly able to do it yourself through form new country and then press button. But since we are, unfortunately, in the Holy Roman Empire, everything has to go through the Emperor. I think this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. I appear to find Holland without friends. Well, I have Holstein-Rendsburg, but that's like nothing. The game is very adamant that we're stronger than them. I kind of want to take the fight to Holland now, carve them up, potentially puppet them. I'm going to fight Holland. We'll declare the war. Bada bing. Bada boom. That's Amsterdam down. That's Rendsburg out. Recruitment law, military law policy, anything that gets me more troops. Expanded levy sounds good. Yes, I'll take those. More troops. Now that is the last of the Dutch troops. They're gone. I don't want to be the Netherlands, but I think it would be good to become the Netherlands. The war with the Netherlands is won. They're fully occupied. I've also decided to just cut my losses and abandon Luxembourg. There's no point to that alliance. They're tiny. I was going to integrate Zutphen, and then I noticed that they somehow culture flipped to Westphalian, so I've stepped in and forced them to be Franconian again through a diplomatic order. Now they're mad at me, so I can't integrate them for a while. I guess we'll integrate Lambourg next. They're close enough to my capital to make it work, but that needs another year in the oven before I can do that. And I would like to see if I can actually take anything off these guys at all. I can turn them into a puppet. That is going to piss a lot of people off. I don't think I want to do this. Alright, I've decided not to dig too deep and too greedily. Give North Holland to Utrecht, East Friesland to my Frisian puppet up there. Take all their money, take a marriage, take their women, take their money, take their land. Just not puppet them, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. This is still going to get people to hate me, but just not as much. So let's just call it a day here. And who hates me? Holland, the Hansa, and Frisia. Holland, I know that. Actually, there might not be a next war. Brabant just went in. They smelled blood in the water. I'm gonna have to fight Brabant on my own. We got an event that gave us just enough prestige just now. And with that, we can ask for ducal rights. Our country rank will become a duchy, and we'll thank the Emperor in Bohemia for it. We are now the Duchy of Loon instead of the County of Loon, except the guy still called the Count for some reason, and this does not update until the next one takes over. We're now a duchy. Might as well piss off Cologne as well while we're here. There we go. Some lovely enemies we're making. I'm gonna improve my relations with Munster. I need a friend. Unless Brunswick wants to be my friend. I think Brunswick might be a better bet. Yeah. I think the only thing we can do now is take Friesland. And we'll just knock them out one by one, because we've already dealt with Tecklenburg. They're fully sieged, so I'll take all their money and all their humiliation and more of their money. And just get rid of some treaties. One by one until we have just Friesland. Yeah, a couple of short battles, and Brema is also out. Just go bail out her friends. Yeah, goodbye. I'll take all of your money. More of your money. Get some war reps. Get some humiliation in. Prestige is good. And on to the next target. Final siege, another puppet. Let's get that over with. And that basically completes the encirclement of Brabant. Yeah, turn him into a vassal. How much is that going to require? 0.7 diplomatic. Yeah, I can handle that. All the money I can squeeze out. You can keep your forts. Boreps doesn't stack. Send that demand. It's going to piss a lot of people off, obviously. It only pisses Frisia off by a measurable amount. That's not too bad. I can make friends with Frisia by improving my opinion there. And of course, we'll build our own strength. I am getting a little more manpower. I'm going to use that manpower to raise more regular troops. I'm thinking the regulars might just be what's called for to deal with the just sheer size of my enemies. I'll just have to use manpower instead of levies, like an actual military instead of just peasants I found out in the fields. So happy days as the duchy of Loon grows ever larger. We have absorbed Liège, so Luc is now a second settlement. This is almost looking like a city, people. We're getting some pops in. 220,000 people almost, and we have the possibility to enact some influence with the Pope. We're gonna ask if he's willing to put a cardinal in my town. Let's ask a cardinal seat. Let's see what he does. Oh, so he just does it. Okay, the Pope has graciously granted our request. There will now be a cardinal seat planted in Liège, Luc. And I suppose it entitles us to a seat at the table whenever the Catholic Church does anything, because we will be part of the select clique of countries that have a cardinal. And I can vote, I guess. I am desperate for some friends, so maybe Munster doesn't really hate me. Who knows? They might just be no rivals. Yep. They desire land belonging to me. Brunswick, are you fine with me at 1? Can I just pay you some money to like me? Here, have a gift. That's a pretty expensive gift. I'm gonna send you a gift. Will you allow me? Oh, now they'll settle for an alliance. All right, at least I'll have the Dutch of Brunswick on my side. So in terms of our capacity, that's good. We're no longer over capacity. I have absorbed some of my vassals. I've gotten bigger, stronger, faster. So with 1389, I'm kind of boxed in. I can't go into Brabant, not on my own. The game thinks it's not that much a difference, but trust me, it is. I can't even take Brabant on my own, not to mention Cologne, Lorraine, Lüneburg. Provence as well. This is even if my allies come in, it's too much right now. A little more strength. Brema is not part of the Hansa, and that would pitch me against Brema, Mainz down here, and Mecklenburg over there. Individually, they're all weak enough that my alliance can tackle this, and if I vassalize them, I get a couple of extra attack dogs to then use on Brabant, because I have been annexing some of my vassals like Limburg, like Lambourg, like Zutphen over there. So I'm eating my vassals, obviously, because I have to. It's somewhat weakening me. On the bright side, I got Brunswick as an ally and Hesse. Now let's turn Brema into one of my attack dogs as well, and we'll have a jolly good time. Just use Parliament. We'll create a casus belli on Brema and get going. All right, shouldn't be too hard. Raise the levies. Let's get going. Well, that war's over. Good news, bad news. Good news, I scored 2 puppets out of it. Mainz is a vassal as well as Brema. Bad news is I think I pissed everyone off. So I have a lot of asses to kiss to make this go away. Anyway, let's just improve opinions with the worst offenders, the ones closest to 50, I believe. Anyway, other problem is somehow they occupied Heinsberg, and they're no longer my personal union. I did get Maastricht annexed, but the PU completely bugged out. I don't know how to explain this, but I had the PU leveled up to level 5. Something changed for like a minute. They all left and only Chiny came back at level 0. So this is not functional in the slightest currently. So another issue has just arisen other than the looming oh my god, the looming coalition over there. The Duke is dead. Long live the Duke. But the Duke has a brother who really expects a seat at the table. Now we can take that. The brothers will rule as one, gives us the joint ruling, this government reform. It's shit. I don't want this. Or, you know, I piss everyone off and I say, we'll deal with the rebels. We will deal with the rebels. It has, however, driven home the point that I need to get rid of this. The right to inherit. This is what's causing those issues every time someone dies. Well, a ruler dies. I need to put the nobility in its place and strip the right to inherit, or I will have that issue every single time. Don't want that. I could do it now and just ride out the very, very bad negative stability that I'm gonna get. Or I can wait a little. Now, I am filthy rich right now. I don't have immediate concerns other than the giant international organization potentially threatening me. That's a big fucking coalition if it fires. So I'm just gonna max out my stability spending. And I'm gonna strip this away. Well, I think it's time we paid a visit to our friends in Brabant, mostly because I think his hat, it's insulting. So they insulted us, we get a war goal on them, probably a good time to go in now. I've consolidated all there is to consolidate other than start eating my vassals. I've got some decent strength on my side. They're gonna bring in Cologne, probably Lorraine as well. It says it doesn't, but they will probably join if Brabant uses favors. I'll do the same with Brunswick. The game thinks they're not gonna come in, but I will make them come in. I have that power. An insult does mean their provinces are gonna be a lot more expensive to take, but I'm not gonna take that much anyway, simply because aggressive expansion is a bitch in the Empire. I'll just take enough to get what I want. I have some money stockpiled. Stability's almost over 0, so we've dug our way out of the hole we found ourselves in. Oh, which reminds me, you know what? Remember I said, yeah, we need to get rid of this estate privilege, the right to inherit, because every time there's a new leader, like the nobility expects us to split our titles and get like joint rule. Yeah, so it's not directly tied to right to inherit. Right to inherit locks our inheritance law, and our inheritance law is what's causing the issue. Right now, it's set to partition and heritage, meaning, you know, if your heir has a brother, that brother is expecting a slice of the pie. So we want to change that to just, I don't know, absolute cognatic primogeniture, or just primogenitor, or hell, even favored son. I can work with either one of those. So we need to spend another 50 stability and 50 legitimacy changing that law eventually. Ooh, we can even get Salic law. Any case, that's for the future. At least for now, things are somewhat stable again. Let's pick a fight with Brabant. War declared. And I'll just call in Brunswick using favors. They owe me. First engagement successful. Huzzah! Alright, Brabant does actually have a relatively large army. I'm gonna stay away from it for a little bit until I can get all my puppets to link up with me so we can get like a big stack going. And then we'll meet them in the field. Right now they outnumber us. I'm not a coward, but I'm also not stupid. So let's not fight until we have to. Speaking of overwhelming numbers, I think we have 2-to-1 odds here if we can meet them in Kuik. Yeah, oh yeah. If we best them here and then just keep hounding them, we've got the majority of their strength smashed. No, Lorraine has answered the call, bringing another 1,000 men to the fight. Well, it's still in our favor, giving them a good bloody nose. As soon as I complete the siege of Cologne, I'll have this army available as well. Just to swing that around, finish off their stacks, but it does draw things out some more. Alright, at least Cologne is willing to go away, give me some money, and a small portion of the Ruhr. That's like one enemy out. They'll give me a little bit of land, a lot of money, and some war reparations. Perfect. Alright, a little bit of a ping-pong campaign, and I do believe I can get Lorraine to go away and pay me for the privilege as well. There we go. And that leaves Brabant isolated and vulnerable, and I'm going to do unspeakable things to them. Now, in a perfect world, I just annex them, but this is the Holy Roman Empire, and the moment you even look at someone funny, you get all of the aggressive expansion. Sorry, antagonism. So I'm going to try and just do as much damage to them as possible. Like cut them up into tiny little pieces to basically force them to release some people. And that way I don't get too much aggressive expansion. I can go back in and puppet some more stuff and really just remove Brabant as like a viable enemy. All right, I think we'll take that deal. Not a bad war, and it does absolutely gut Brabant. They've got an exclave they won't get control over there. They've lost Zealand, they've lost Gelders. They've got another exclave over there that they don't actually have control over. And the only one who would potentially pose a problem in terms of coalitions is Brabant itself, and I can take him. I can take him. Disband the all levies, and we're going to integrate that new land. I don't think I want to turn that into a puppet, so we're going to integrate that new land. And we now have access to the beautiful sea as well. We can get to work building, well, maybe not just yet, but we will get to work building a navy. We've done magnificently. This is my home. This is what my home should always have been. Another parliament, another opportunity. I just noticed if I declare war on Holland, it brings in Luxembourg. And it brings in just Luxembourg, not Luxembourg's collection of friends, and namely Luxembourg's senior partner, Bohemia. So I can now fight the Netherlands, well, Holland, eventually puppet them, obviously, but I can also use this opportunity to go ham, just go absolutely hog wild in Luxembourg and carve this region up to distribute among my puppets as well. Anyway, fabricated claim on no, do I have a peace with Holland? November. Oh, years of peace with Holland. No! Well, in that case, I said nothing. I'm just gonna sit on my hands and do nothing for a while. Well, this is a first. I checked down in southern France and I see Burgundy. And like, oh, they're a little out of position. Okay, so Burgundy's formed. It's the Kingdom of Burgundy. So the Savoys have actually formed the Kingdom of Burgundy. To war! The worst part is just sieging shit down. I'm sitting here on speed 5, just blasting through the siege ticks. A glorious total victory. Everyone's fully occupied. So no matter what, we're going to take Holland. Probably as a puppet, don't want to integrate it. Takes a while. But down here, I want to do some things. So let's take a look at separate super piece. What can I do to you? I can take that. I can take that. I can take that. Oh, that already pisses everyone off. Vassalize Holland. Okay. I'll take that. Okay. And then this. Now that does create a bit of a problem in Luxembourg and Brabant, and they might join a coalition, as well as the Hanseatic League, who might join a coalition. I'm not scared of Brabant or any of the other guys, but if a coalition forms, it can get hairy. I'm sure this is going to go exceedingly well for us. Make the demand and now start improving opinion there. I want them out of the coalition, improving opinion there. I want them out of the coalition. And now I'll sell some land to Chinique. They weren't in the war, so I couldn't give them the stuff directly. So I took it, and now I'll just sell it to them. Oh, they're willing to pay 0 for it. That's nice. You get to pay 0 for it. I'm sure you'll love it. Well, looks like we got a new pope. The Catholic Church is united again, so the Western Schism is resolved-ish. And I think it resolved in favor of France because the Papal State's capital is still in Avignon. I now have the war goal on Brabant. I'm not going to take any additional hits to my stability. So while we're here, we might as well have a little fun, right? Well, good news. We can already get rid of Cologne. Apparently they have hit 100 war exhaustion, are no longer willing to put up a fight, so we're going to carve them up. We're going to liberate everyone we can from them. Makes them substantially weaker moving forward. A little war reps, usually good. That should significantly cut... Oh yeah, that is definitely going to cut Cologne down to size for future wars. As for Luxembourg, they are also quite there. If I just take Saint-Vit, I have control of the Liège province. So we'll just leave it at taking the one province and just calling it a day. There we go. A couple of puppets spit out. There we go. And then there's just Brabant, who are fully occupied, but the game still thinks they have a positive war score. I don't think that's gonna last. They're gonna hit 100 soon enough. There we go. They're now at 100. So I'm just gonna take this. I'll leave Brabant up in Holstein, and I take Kempeland and Brabant from them. And obviously a humiliation, so they all know. I need them to know it was me. Send it and go. Oh, and now, we're gonna make some friends here. We're gonna improve some opinions, and now we're gonna sit back, relax, and integrate all that stuff we just took. I don't think the 100 Years' War is really going in England's favor. That is definitely not in England's favor. England's having a rough time of it. They are now perfectly matched to me. That is not a good place to be at. I accidentally misclicked an event and accidentally spent almost 3,000 ducats. I suddenly find myself 2,800 in the hole, paying 11 in interest. Not good for Loon coin. Yeah, that's gonna be a while to fix. Other than that though, with Brabant consumed and my neighbors appeased, no coalitions coming my way. So I'll just slowly focus on eating everyone who's left, which is probably just Gelders. And then we can form the final conclusion of this, which would be Belgium, if Belgium was in the game paradox, but no, I'll have to settle for the disgusting abomination known as the Netherlands. I want my Belgium, damn it. Oh man, and the event that I accidentally spent 3,000 gold on didn't actually get me anything. I get a little bit of research progress, and the market gets some saltpeter and gold, but I get nothing but debt. Well, so much for the Philosopher's Stone. Quick little war, in and out. Gelders, well, and Trier. Shouldn't be too difficult. Declare the war, overrun these idiots, and call it a day. Yeah, that was a remarkably quick war. I actually tried the Storm Fort button for the first time, and I pulled it off. So that is them out, and Trier is... yeah, they apparently don't have a fort. I'll take your money. I'll take your war reps, and I'll humiliate you. Carve you up a little bit. There we go. A little bit of money, and then we'll take the last here. We'll take the full province, integrated. We'll piss the people off, but nobody really... no, no one's really going to form a coalition, so I can call it a day. Happy-ish days. We'll just improve opinion of these people. All we need to do now is form the country of the Netherlands. This will allow me to rise. I can get a couple of bonuses as well. And bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful, the Duchy of the Netherlands. I wish it could be a kingdom, but you're very limited, not just by population. Right now, I'm limited by population and prestige, but even if I wasn't, there's a limitation within the Holy Roman Empire that you can't become a king, I believe, unless you form Germany, because that allows you to bypass it, or you form the Holy Roman Empire. Not entirely sure. No, actually, I should check with the Bohemians. See, there is an option to request the kingdom title, but you can't unless you're forming Bohemia, Burgundy, Lotharingia, or Italy. Yeah, that's all you can do for kingdom ranks. Very unfortunate. We'll have to fight the Bohemians to then leave the empire. Gentlemen, I have bad news. I thought, you know, I could use a strong ally in the region. Why not England? Completely forgetting about the whole 100 Years' War. Now England is calling in its favors. It calls upon us to join them in their war against France and their horde. I'm gonna accept the offer and pray to everything holy that I do not get my cheeks royally clapped. Now, in theory, there should be a little bit of strength here. I guess all I can realistically do is try and hunt small stacks of French troops before they can consolidate into large blobs. Oh, never mind. That is a lot of Frenchmen. Methinks we're fucked. Oh, boy. Let's run away. It would be nice if the English would take their army off, you know, England and put it in France where the war is. Yes! We won. All right, and we'll use that to quickly get the Siege of Namur done. If we get out of this at all, we're going to have to get out of this quickly and leave the English to their fates. I can't believe we might actually win this.
I managed to integrate the Holland province, and that allowed me to raise its levies as well. So I'm back up to, well, still not back up to anything sensible. My army is exhausted. I've bled my people dry. But the war score has ticked up to plus 44%. And I haven't seen a major French stack in a while. I'm thinking, like, these loss numbers are not great for anyone involved. But I think the French are bleeding a lot of troops down here fighting Castilla-Aragon. The English army has arrived somewhat, so that might help as well. One more thing I really need to stress with bigger wars like this. You'll notice the casualties are pretty steep. 62,000 against 71,000. That is pops. Those are actual pops who run your buildings, who pay taxes, they trade, they propagate. Every lost pop is a pop that is not reproducing, that is not contributing to any future growth either. So wars like this that are somewhat on the bigger side, those are impactful. I've lost 5,000 men. Those are 5,000 men who will never have children, who will never have another generation ready to take on the burden. The English pieced out. I got absolutely nothing from it. England got some territory. The French are paying them instead of me. I get basically nothing for my troubles. But at least that alliance with Bohemia is out the window, so at least the Emperor isn't with France as well. I've just been scammed by my ally Brunswick, who've roped me into an anti-Brunswickian coalition war using favors. I just got done with my own war. My troops haven't recovered yet. Everything's still shit. Fine. I would like the quest for the New World, thank you. France is the diplomatic, cultural, naval, and military hegemon, and only some... I think Goryeo is the economic hegemon. I'm gonna have to reevaluate my friendship with Brunswick after this. Oh, they've pieced out Lüneburg. Okay, so I get nothing except a little bit of gold. I suppose it's fair enough. We're not doing any war for the foreseeable future. Let's just crank all that down, take a deep breath, and start working towards integrating those last couple of provinces, and then we can call ourselves the big dogs in this corner of Europe. I am now the Emperor. I have no idea what happened. I don't know why it happened. I have not just become one of the great powers. Might I direct you to this, where it says the great power of Duchy of Netherlands is the #1 power in the world. With that, we have achieved our goal. And as my first act of Holy Roman Emperor is to see that all members of the Empire contribute 5% of their yearly income to the Netherlands. Holy shit, their money just was directly wired into my account. That's 1,000 ducats I'm sitting on. Best get spending. And bada bing, bada boom, the English have done it again. They've drawn me into the third phase. The third phase of the 100 Years' War. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna stick with my tried and true. Oh my god, that was good. That was almost 10-to-1 casualties. Oh, it would appear the French have gobbled up Luxembourg. Well, that's great. Well, the French are sieging my capital, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Hey, I'm the naval hegemon. Why am I the naval hegemon? I didn't build any additional ships, so the French must have lost some of theirs. Good! That's good. That means the English might bring some troops in. Laith, I need help. Yeah, I've taken so much attrition now that... Well, attrition. So much damage from all the battles that I have no hope in hell of taking back my capital if they siege it now. Alright, they've left my capital. I'm gonna try and dance around them and get that stack off there to reset the siege tick. Oh, doesn't matter. Don't have to. They've reset the siege tick all on their own. All right, I've cheekily disbanded and re-raised my levies. I think that's currently bugged, meaning that's a bit of an exploit, so I got a lot of fresh troops. This is a bloody battle. Now, I can get the French to sign off on a white peace, but a white peace is not enough. I'm gonna see if I can get them to spit out Luxembourg. It's all I can realistically expect. I can't take any land because of the 100 Years' War. modifier. It doesn't allow me to take any land outside of the France region, which I don't want anyway. Well, good news, bad news. Bad news is the Holy Roman Emperor died. The good news is we're him again. All right, the moment we finished the Siege of Ghent, England pieced out. So they took a bunch of land, war reps. I get nothing. I probably got the bulk of the money though, so yay. All right, let's embrace pike and shot. It's gonna cost me some stability. I'll just spend some money on that. Time to disband the levies and just sit here making money until we're ready to do something else. I did get imperial authority for winning a war against France, so yay, it counted as a defensive war, so there is that. The imperial authority is worthless to me because I need like 50 to pass a law, so I can't really do anything. We have a slight problem. Bohemia has decided to become Hussite. Also, for some reason, the king of Bohemia is lowborn. This is intolerable, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about this. Well, I guess that's it for Christianity. Goodbye. Wake up, honey. It's your mandatory 4th phase of the 100 Years' War. England, why must you do this to me? Good news. We got the fort, and we beat the French army twice, 3 times. Bad news, it cost us about half our combat power. That really cost us. So let's just go back to hunting small stacks, shall we? We were so close. 48% on the siege. Well, it dropped because I moved the guy off, but it was at 48%. And the French are here. Oh, they keep moving their giant stacks around. Oh, I hate France. I've become a dedicated France hater. I will see France destroyed. All I wanted was containment. Now I want eradication. I want not one living, breathing Frenchman on this continent by the time we're done here. Oh, he might actually win? Holy shit! We took the majority of the casualties because of the French discipline, but I think we took the battle. We've won, but at what cost? My army's been reduced to less than half its original size. Oh god, the French keep coming at me with unreasonably large stacks. Oh, the casualties are always so horrific. We'll win though, because one of their flanks collapsed, so we'll win the battle, hopefully. Alright, we've also won the siege. I'm also going to terminate my alliance with Brunswick. This is the 5th time they've used favors to call me into a stupid war while I'm in the middle of a 100 Years' War campaign. Stop getting me into pointless wars, you asshole! Oh, thank God they pieced out. All they got was war reps, a humiliation, and they made them spit out Limousin. I don't even know where Limousin is. It's just this. Okay, fine. And once again, my allies make out like bandits, and I get nothing. We're going to stamp out Hussitism in Bohemia, and we'll call it a day at that. I will not have a lowborn be king of Hungary, and definitely not a lowborn Hussite. Alright, I think we're ready to take the fight to Bohemia, get rid of the Hussies. I have the crush Hussitism war goal. I can get the English in with favor, same with Brandenburg and Brunswick, I think, and I gotta check on Brandenburg. Yes, I have the favors. Let's make this the war to end all... Well, end all... I was gonna say, let's make this the war to end all wars. There will be no more wars after this. The Duchy of the Netherlands, the Holy Roman Emperor, Reinoud van Heinsberg, is going to restore religious unity to the empire. This can only go well. And just to top things off, I've just vassalized Köln. It did piss people off, admittedly, but I don't care about people. I'm here for my own gain. Classic. Absolutely fucking classic. I'm balls deep into Bohemia. And here's the 5th phase of the 100 Years' War, and I'm in automatically. We're gonna have to white piece this. Just take some fucking money and bail. Oh, this really annoys me. Just have to focus on the French now. Fine. Well, damn, the Pope actually came in clutch. The Pope by decree, has ended the war between France and England. England was getting its teeth kicked in once we dipped out of the war, and the Pope just said, stop fighting. The French said, sure, brilliant. I can claim the throne of the Duchy of Meissen. We'll declare war to take their capital. Bada bing, bada boom. And I'm going to call Brunswick into this war as well. Open diplomatic actions. And I'll use my favor to call them into the war of Meisner succession. I almost feel guilty for pulling out all the stops. This is 10 to 1 almost. You know what? The world would be better off under Dutch rule, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. All right, let's start knocking out countries from this war. So I can negotiate with Upper Bavaria to get them out of the war. I don't want anything from them other than their money, maybe some food and military access. That will make them go away. Good. With the Duchy of Mark, I can separately sue for peace. I could actually force them into a union. You know, there would be a valuable asset slash puppet next door. It's going to piss a lot of people off, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to take them for all their money, send that demand as well. Great. I formed a union. Let's make sure we make friends there and get Berg and Arnsberg to not be too mad at me by just simply improving relations with them. There we go. Improving the opinion. I've just noticed a funny thing. We are an alliance of lions. The single Dutch lion of the Netherlands, the double lion of Brunswick, and then the triple lion of England. And they're all in the same heraldry. It is gold on red. Ah, funny that. I think we're just gonna call this war. I'm about to get my war goal on Bohemia, and I'm sure the French are raring to go, and I need a little bit of recovery before we do anything. Unfortunately, we did not get the glorious union between Meissen and the Netherlands. I got a little consolation prize by the county of, or the Duchy of Mark, and a fuck ton of money. So they're gonna pay me for the privilege of going away. They're gonna pay me war reparations, and they're gonna spit out like 10 minor countries just to make sure the area is a little more fractured. And we should be good to go. We liberated, got money, yes. And I suppose, moving on from this, we're gonna have to figure out a way to both beat the French, who have seized from us the naval hegemon position, so I need to build a couple of boats to out-naval hegemon them again. And oh god, I need to build a lot of boats. And militarily, I probably need a couple more regulars as well. We're still the military hegemon, so yay. We're in the 100 Years' War, we're gonna gather our levies, we're gonna do the same playbook again. I do feel like I can more reliably take on the French stacks as long as they don't bring literally everyone. Troop quality is high. The regulars do perform quite well. I can beat most of these guys as long as I pick the terrain and fight around my forts so I get the defensive bonuses. I'm pretty much set for victory. And if my allies or vassals are willing to play ball and attached to me, we can bring a lot of firepower to these fights and turn this around relatively quickly. Now let's just dance around, making sure we get our sieges in. Also got the fleet out. Oh, thank God they white pieced out. I guess it's better than nothing. I'm no longer at war. Am I at war? Shit, I am at war. Who am I at war with? The Cologne nobles. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. Alright, fine, I'll mop that up. And then we're no longer at war. All that setup, all that planning to go in and crush the Hussites of Bohemia, and I blinked and I missed it. They had a Catholic in charge for a minute, a Catholic regent for a Hussite prince, and they've used the opportunity to flip back to being Catholic. They're just Czech Catholics now. No Hussite wars, so that's it. Wake up, honey. It's time for your 7th phase of the 100 Years' War. Well, I think the run might not end on such a high note as I had hoped. The French have taken the military hegemon spot. They are the naval hegemon. They're basically every flavor of hegemon, and whenever they're not at war, they also tend to be the economic hegemon. So sometimes somebody in India takes it for a little bit until they shatter, and then the French take it right back 5 years after. We're so back! We're so back! I just killed a bunch of them in a battle, and we are so back! Dutch on top, baby! Oh, it's a roller coaster. That's the victory. That's why I'm the military hegemon, France, not you. Glory to the Holy Roman Empire. We have done the heavy lifting. England has managed to vastly increase its lands, humiliate the French, and with that, they are well and truly contained. We've won yet again, and best part, we are naval and military hegemon. #1 great power in this world. It is still 1485. I think we're done here. From this point forward, I would just keep chipping away at the French until at some point I can actually take some land off them. Luxembourg, Hainaut, Flanders. The easiest way to do that would probably be to start exploring as soon as that reaches me. The Age of Discovery still has not reached me, but it is, if I look at this, it is on its way to our lands, so in time it will arrive, I guess, I would hope. Printing press is very much stuck in Hungary for reasons that I'm not entirely clear. But yeah, I have taken my hometown and I have made it the greatest power on earth. Ruler of the Low Countries, ruler of the Holy Roman Empire, #1 great power in the world, military and naval hegemon. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see different videos, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comments. If you liked it, leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.